Check. K6USY, Delta Mike 06.
K6USY, W6BBS, if you're by the radio.
Yes.
Hey, do me a quick favor. Flip over to 1296.275. Take a listen. Come back here and tell me what you hear.
Okay, I'll be right back. I think I already have that frequency saved in here. Oh, no, I do not yet. Okay, I'm assuming that's a new beacon. I'll be right back. K6USY. Yep, it's working. That S3, S4 down here into my horizontal antenna. Actually, no, hold on. It might be on my vertical. Okay, let me give you an accurate signal report with the correct clarity.
Thank you, sir. Standing by.
There we go. S8.
Okay, well, there's not much of an antenna. You would not believe the antenna I made.
Is it at least horizontal?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. See, I got a friend out there that donated us 4 of the shorter 1296 antennas from M Squared to the beacon a year ago, and still hasn't dug them out, blah, blah, blah. And I had everything else in place. I had the radio that was the 2-meter beacon in the past year was a 1-watt or 10-watt radio. But then the one that Robert from the plant gave me is a, I guess the 50-watt radio, I don't know. But anyways, it had been turned down. Well, I went in and turned it back up. I got it set at 20 watts. And so I took the 1 or 10-watt radio, got it on 1 watt, running into Mike's SSB transverter. And then I got everything sitting here ready. And so I literally went over in the drawer, and I got a chassis mount in connector out, and I stuck it in the vise, and I heated up the plate, and I put a solid number 12 wire coming off the, folded it through one of the eyes and pinched it down and soldered that real good, and then bent me a short piece at a 90 degrees and soldered that in the center pin, and I cut my wires, probably 20-30% too long intentionally, and got it on the analyzer and saw, okay, this can work, and I pruned it down. And so it's literally a chassis mount in connector screwed on the end of the coax with 2 pieces of wire soldered on it, taped onto a short pole, sticking straight up there, and it's up on the little tower trailer here where the other 2 beacon antennas are right now. So just for up and testing and whatnot, that's literally what our antenna is right now.
But do you believe you're S8 here in Visalia?
That's the man I wanted to hear from. I wanted to know if I was getting down that way. Well, that's pretty good. I figure I'm running probably about 15 watts, maybe just a little bit more. I don't have a slug for that band, but the transverter gives me a pretty good idea what it's putting out. And it's only doing a little less than 50%, and it's a 30-watt transmitter. So, right around 50%, or maybe a little less. But anyways, yeah, Bill, thanks for the report. That's good news.
It's super loud. I mean, you're S8, and Aaron's about an S2 to tell you the difference. So the height is a big difference there. Go ahead. AA6S.
I might need pictures of this, Frank.
I will, I meant to take a picture because I was going to send a picture to Paul and say, I understand you're too busy to get those antennas out, so I decided to go ahead and build one. I sent him a picture that kind of shamed him into getting them. But yeah, I'll get you one. Go ahead.
I take it back, Aaron. You're an S0, but you're Q5. You don't move my meter. And Frank, there's an S8.
So you're pointed at me, right, Aaron, or are you non-rotatable?
I'm Omni on this band, but on 1296, my antenna is pointed at you, Mike, and Rob.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Yeah, Bill, I'm blessed. Of course, I'm way up on the ridge with this antenna, Bill. This one's the one that's, 100 feet above where I'm sitting here in the shack. And the beacon antenna is right outside the shack, about 25 feet above me. So, difference there. But I always get a pretty good shot. Between you and I, we got a pretty good shot. I got a good trail down your way there. AA6S W6BBS.
Yeah, well, it's super strong here. I mean, it's it's as loud as anybody else. It's pretty scary. Anyway, we're running the power here. About 700 out, I guess. AA6S.
Oh, I'm still only running 75 here. I've got I got an 8877 sitting out in the shop all ready to go. I just got to finish this building up here and get it moved in here and whatnot. But before I move that's a rack. It's a 19-inch rack that's 6 foot tall, and in the very bottom of it is a 4,000-volt power supply. And then above that is a 8877 on 2 meters. And above that is the 88, I forgot that. I want to say 8839 or something like that. It's an 8877 with the coaxial base, and this was a one-of-a-kind knockoff I got from Mike. So I got another, basically an 8877 on 432 there, and then above that, filling the top of the rack, is a 220, which I have nothing else for 220, but that's another 8877 on 220. A lot of weight, so before I bring it into my toy hauler, I'm going to reinforce the floor in the area where it's going to sit and whatnot. Go ahead.
You better put concrete right down to the rock and set it on it, Frank. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, see, I got another rack sitting here. It's like a 4-foot rack, and it's got in the top of it, the only thing that's actually rack mounted is a dual control box from M squared for ASL for one of my EME arrays. And then there's a shelf below that with 4 ham M, ham 4, ham, those type of rotors, CDE boxes, and then 2 more shelves below that I've just put in there, and 4 more control boxes for Orions or elevation, 4 more M squared control boxes. So you got 6 of those control boxes, and there's a total of 10 control boxes sitting right here in this one rack. I've got a lot of weight in this poor trailer, but it is a toy hauler. It's hauling my toys, baby.
Sounds good, Frank. W6BBS, AA6S. Well, I'd say you're going to be king of the hill there, because as strong as you are now, with basically no gain, if you had Had a couple of Yankees or one of them or something on this band, like this one that I got from Mike or Mikey and Mike. AAJ's got the same one. I think it's about, I don't know, 30 elements long or something. Supposed to have around 16 dB gain or something. That with an 8877, you probably burn my receiver up. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, this antenna here, it's an earlier, I think it's an earlier thing, is a square boom, but it's an M squared. But it's I think if I remember right, it's a 16 element, and it's something that was laying up on top of Mike's barn and not in use. And when I started putting stuff together, I had the M squared 420-5011. Which is half that size. But yeah, this is 16 elements, and it's up there, like I say, up on the ridge with the 2 meter and the 1296 stuff all in the same mast up there. And it seems to play pretty well, but once again, location. W6BBS, is there anybody else wanting to break in here? Are we getting close to the net, or we maybe should be into the net?
You may be the net control.
Well, I don't know. I logged in earlier just to see, and Mikey's radio was live, so he must just be finishing his dinner. He should be along shortly.
Yeah, we are live on the internet.
That's good. On the inner sanctum there, Aaron.
Yep, and Frank, I'm sending you a video. I turned my preamp on, and it's a tick over S9.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would kind of expect that, considering my elevation above you and our distance isn't that far. We got a good, clean antenna-to-antenna shot here, and so I would expect it to be pretty good, even though it's just a chassis mount in connector with a couple of pieces of number 12 solid copper soldered to it, making it into a dipole stuck on the end of the coax, taped on a mast. Over.
Yeah, and the fact that I have like 12 or 13 elements pointed in your direction.
Oh yeah, I forget that you actually have directionality on that one.
Yeah, I just can't turn it.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mike. K6USY 1079 and Bozo 1100 disciplining the kids in the other room.
I got it. We got you. And we're here in the Beacon, very strong here. What did you say? It was just a dipole, quick put together dipole, Frank?
Yeah, I started out, Mike, I was I've got so many things going on with moving the whole power center. Means every wire in the property, everything's changing, so a lot of work. So I went out and I was pretty sure I had a bad driven element or something going on with this one 1296 is still sitting here, the 49er, and threw the analyzer on it, and sure enough, it said no good. I pulled the element off, and everything was just weird, and I have another one of those junkers that you'd give me for parts or whatever at one point, and I tested that, and they're both like 3 to 1 or something, and I just didn't have time to really mess with it, and I reached over, grabbed a chassis mount in connector out of the drawer, and did the calculation. Like 2.1 inches is for a dipole on 1296, and so I did like 2 1/4 to 2.5 inches on each wire, and soldered one right to the plate, pinched it around through one of the holes and stick it straight out, and 90'd the other wire, soldered to the center connector, put it on, analyzed it, found where I was, tuned it a little bit, got it pruned right in there, and stuck it up, and it's at about 20-25 feet.
That was quite good here. Went over to one of the other 3 fixed boxes on 1296 in the 9700, but apparently you'd put it on some weird MCW mode or something, so it sounded funny, but I heard it okay. And it was quite strong. I went back and forth on it and peaked. It was very loud, so I'm very loud here. Over.
Yeah, okay, roger that. And Bill down at Visalia reported it was loud, and Aaron's heard it good. So if you please, there goes my throat again. Excuse me, I got to not talk so much. If it's all right, you can announce on the net that the 1296 beacon is up. I'm guessing that I'm somewhere around the 15-watt range right now, Mike. I've got the rig set on 1 watt. And of course, that SSB, it's got driver, all the adjustments on it, and so I'm running just under half scale on that thing. And full scale at 1 amp would be 30 watts, and so I'm a little less than half. So I'm 12, 15 watts is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, it's fine for now. I wouldn't worry about the absolute power. You've got power coming out. I'm sure happy that everything worked. What radio are you using for an IF?
Oh, that reminded me, I did have a question for you. Okay, the IF radio is this was the one that John, K6MI, had given me in the beginning of this project. That is it doesn't receive or anything, but it has 1 watt or 10 watts on transmit. And it was our 2-meter beacon on 10 watts for a while. Then I got the one from Robert turned up, so that's now the 2-meter beacon. So I took this one, put it on 1 watt, and it's driving the SSB. Now, there's a couple of things. First of all, this keyer unit I have does have a key line, and it will key, and I had it plugged in that way, but it's just hammering the snot out of the relays, okay? I've tried a couple different ways of experimenting with it, and what I'm actually running at right now is the RCA line coming out of the back, the key line. Instead of it being plugged into something, I just got a screw stuck in it right now. So the SSB is just keyed hard right now, all the time, and then the CW just comes back and forth, and it's all playing just fine, and it's not chattering the relays because they're staying on. Do you see a problem with doing that?
Probably not. But why don't the relays key when the radio keys?
Because the radios key just off the CW line. We're not keying the radios down hard. So, but they work pretty well because, like, when it's sending my call sign, the radio just stays keyed. It doesn't drop in between characters. It drops in between dits, and those pauses that I've got built in there, it does drop. Whereas with me running the key line into the transverter and letting the keyer key that and the radio key in the CW, what happens is it's getting the transverter keyed just a little bit too late in those pauses that are dits. You never hear them. It's just keying the radio off and on. And I'm sure there's some timing thing or something I could probably do, but yeah, that's the whole point. Is the rigs are not keyed solid anyways. They're keyed by the CW. And so they key off and on. It just the transverter wants to go in between every character and hammer those relays, and I didn't like that.
No, I don't like that either. It's probably just as well you leave them keyed on. I don't know if you can get to any of the relays or touch them, but after a day or so on, you might feel them and see what they feel like. If the coils aren't getting super hot, I think they're fine, and I wouldn't even worry about it for now. Alrighty, good. Let's see. I'm not sure who else is in here. I've got you and Aaron and his wife, and I put in 800. 800's here, but he may be looking toward Ralph. Over. 800 isn't here. Where did he go?
Success Bill.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, Success.
And
800.
yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, I'll just leave it key. And that's in the air-conditioned room, and I got fans on everything. I got to add some more fans because now I've added another radio, but it's all going to be, max probably 85 in there. And so far, everything else has been playing very well in that environment. So, in fact, it's such a nice environment. I moved all my internet, my network stuff, that internet router that had failed on me. This room gets too hot during the day, so I moved everything into that building, and it's working good from there. Over.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Somebody else broke in. Who was that? Was that you, Bill?
Yeah, I'm in here. AA Success. Maybe AAJ is here. He's supposed to be.
Okay. You might look for N6SWR. Ben's supposed to be in here. Point toward Bakersfield and see if you can raise Ben.
Hang on. You just doubled with somebody. Go ahead again.
WA6AAJ 727.
Got you, Mike.
5 DTU 712.
Okay, KC5DTU, good evening. And Bill, did you hear what I said about the N6SWR?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to turn the antenna around there and say hi to Kerry there, KC5DTU, before I turn the antenna. I heard Mike in there, his Boeing 747 or whatever he's got there. Anyway, I'm going to turn the antenna around here and see if I can get Ben, AA6F.
Oh, you're not hearing wind noise, are you? You're just commenting on 727?
Yeah, 727 there.
Yeah, you're not hearing wind noise on me, though, are you?
Wind noise? There was a little QSB earlier, but it cleaned up. It was a weird, there was some weird flutter of it. It must have been, I don't know what it was causing. I didn't mention it, though, but when you were talking about 2 or 3 minutes ago, there was some weird fade, but it's not there now.
You missed the joke, Mikey. He was talking about a 727 jet.
Oh, yeah, but he said 747.
It was holistic.
Oh, that's what it was. It's 727 when you're just making the initial picture, but when you make the hologram, it turns into a 747. I got it.
Yep. 2 plus 2 equals 5.
There you go. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Mikey.
You might turn down, everybody have a listen and see if we can hear Ben tonight. Ben supposedly has got things working better. He was pretty confident that he could get a signal up this way today, so let's see. I'll let Bill call him AA6S. Give a call to N6SWR, over.
Yeah, I will. The antenna's coming around towards Bakersfield there. N6SWR. N6SWR, N6SWR, Ben. N6SWR, AA6S. Calling, standing by. Over. Yeah, Roger, you're not moving the meter, but you're 2.5 like you always are. I didn't try peeking the antenna. I knew there had been. N6SWR, AA6S. Anybody else copying Ben there? AA6S.
I'll have him make another transmission. It was pretty short, and I didn't get a chance to wiggle the antenna. Have him make a 30-second transmission, Bill. I didn't hear anything.
Mikey doubled with you there. I think he wanted you to talk for a second so he could peek his antenna on you. But when you're talking, I'll move mine back and forth a little bit. But you're very good signal here, Ben. N6SWR, AA6S.
Yeah, we're copying you now, Ben. That's not very strong, but I heard you say 35 watts as I swung the antenna across you. N6SWR, go ahead, K6MYC. He's not hearing me, is he?
Mikey was moving his antenna back and forth across. I peeked mine on it. About where I had it before. Can you copy him there? K6MYC here at Ben AA6S, over.
Well, I can hear him, but I can't copy him. I was just going to wiggle the antenna some more here, see if I can find him. I think I've got the peak, but I just can't get any usable audio. N6SWR, let's see if he's copying me. N6SWR from K6MYC. Are you copying me, Ben, over?
Yes, I am.
I'm getting about readability 3. Readability 3, copy on you. You're fading up and down. At times it's Q5 and then it drops down. But much, much better than we've seen. I think this is about the best we've heard you, so that's good. You're making headway down there. I think you said 35 watts there. Very good. And thanks for the effort, Ben. Let's see if Mike's copying you. Mike, and WA6AAJ. Go ahead, K6MYC.
Info.
N6SWR, N6SWR, this is WA6AAJ, over. Okay, Ben, yeah, you're about an S2, not strong, but I'm copying you. So thanks for the contact, N6SWR, WA6AAJ. Roger. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, Frank had a comment. Go ahead, W6BBS to take it, K6MYC.
Yeah, very good. He won't hear me, but I'll just give it a try anyways. N6SWR, W6BBS, DMO7, number 72. Yeah, Mike, I barely hear him, and I get a few words now and again. Probably not. He probably won't be able to hear me, but I am hearing something up here, over. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Go ahead and take it, Mike. I don't think he would hear me.
Okay. Ben, W6BBS called you. He's copying you about the same as I am, about S nothing and Q3. Some words, but that's about it. But that's way up to course gold. Frank is running 70 watts, and I'm running about 700 or 800. So that may be why you're hearing me and not Frank. 73, Ben, thank you very much. I'll shoot it to you, Mike. Bill. Sorry, Bill. And unless anybody else wants to try, anybody else copying Ben, tell Bill, and he'll let you in there. AA6 Sugar with N6SWR, K6MYC. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, Mikey. N6SWR, AA6S. Now, is anybody else copying Ben? Is anybody else copying Ben there, N6SWR? If they are, give him a call. If not, I'll sign with him there. Go ahead. I didn't hear any takers, Ben. N6SWR in Bakersfield, AA6S. I guess we'll say 73s and just listen and see what's going on here, Ben. N6SWR. Take care there, AA6S. Over. Yeah, your signal came way up. You must move your antenna out of the conditions are changing. You're actually moving my meter pretty good now. 73's been N6SWR, AA6S.
Yeah, I did move it 1 knot further north,
Yeah, well, you're super strong now. 73's, and thanks, Ben. Keep up the good work. Able 6 Sugar. Back to net, AA6S.
Okay. 73's, Ben. 73's, and thanks for the effort. I think you're doing pretty well. There's times where you're Q5. You just need a little more. If you had 70 watts instead of 35, you'd probably be Q5 in here most of the time. 73, and we'll see you Sunday night. We'll see you Sunday night, Ben. N6SWR Bakersfield, Delta Mike 05, K6MYC. Okay, anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley for the 432 Bozo check-in? Go ahead. Pretty quiet. N6BYH, are you here? I don't think we're going to have anything from W6QUI either. He said Thursdays are just almost a non-issue for him. Over.
Yeah, he's never here on Thursday. I'll turn the antenna up towards Tom there, and if he's on, I'll say hi to him and then get out of here. K6MYC, AA6S.
Yeah, and you're very loud now. I don't know where you're pointed, but you got real strong here all of a sudden. Anyway, very good. Fine on everybody. Kerry, thanks for the call today. We had a lot of fun, and we watched quite a few of your what would you call those? Websites and programs that were forwarded. We watched today's, and we watched the financial one, at least part of it. At the same time, we were having a little trouble. There was one of them that the audio kept dropping out. I think the whole thing was just dropping. I don't know whether it was our broadband wireless. I don't think so. But all of a sudden, the whole thing would just stop and freeze. Stayed that way for 5 or 10 seconds, and then a few more words. And it got real herky-jerky, so there was some part of one of them we couldn't do very well with, but we got most of it. Anyway, I don't know if we only saw it on one program, so I don't know whether it was that was the financial one where Trump was talking about putting us on the new gold standard. Anyway, back to you, Kerry, for any final. KC5DTU and the group K6MYC Bozo Net beaming south.
K6MYC, KC5DTU, Roger, Mike. I was having trouble with my internet this evening, and I sent you some. End up duplicating them, but they've got some good info in there, and hope you get them. And quite a bit of stuff is going on. I'll keep you informed. KC5DTU.
Okay, can you name the most important one, and how many did you send? 3? And we know is probably one of them, right?
Negative, not today. Not today. I'll have one of those for you tomorrow.
Okay, what were the 3 that came today? One financial one?
I was having trouble with the financial. My computer, I don't know if it was my computer or my router, but it was saying that I was losing internet, and I had good internet, so I don't know what was going on, and I played around with it, but I sent it to you again, so you should have it.
Okay, very good. It may be that we were having the same trouble you were. I think it was something that they were doing. It was one of those that came on Rumble, and we thought maybe there's somebody was screwing around with Rumble. Over.
Yeah, Roger, that could be, but it was really weird. I was just having trouble getting it to you, but again, it's got some good stuff in there, and I'm sure you and Judy will enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah, what was the kind of the heading of it?
Oh boy, I'm at the computer in my shack now, so I can't tell you.
Okay, well, just general. What was the subject matter?
Again, basically, it's on the financial situation that's going on.
Okay, that's all I need. All right, very good. We'll know what to look for that way. Thank you, Kerry. Appreciate it. Good to talk to you today. Give our best to Laura, walking around with no pins in her toes anymore. And we'll see you no later than Sunday night. KC5DTU. Anybody else here? K6MYC 432 Bozo Net. Very quiet. I guess we have to go to Santa Cruz. Here we go.
KM6HK.
KM6HK. Give me your number for Judy, Dan.
Okay, it's 803, Judy.
We got it. Thank you. And good evening to you, Dan. Thanks for checking in 2 nights in a row. I'm going to fall over and pass out here.
Okay, very good.
Some of that as the antenna was rotating. Did you confirm what I said?
Yeah, right. I'm not copying you super good, but no, I copied.
Okay, no, we got you now. Okay, very good. I just was rotating the antenna from the south over to the west, and I must have stopped at the west, and I had you in a null there. Very good. Haven't heard Dane here this evening, but I'm sure we will before the night is over. Although I don't think he ever did check in last night. He must have forgotten altogether. As 2 meters is easy for him, but I don't think he ever did check in. We would have liked to have him because we only had 39. We couldn't get to 40 check-ins. Over.
Okay, well, I'll go out there and throw a rock on his roof.
Yeah, okay. Be sure it's a good round one.
Big square one's more like it.
Oh, that's called a brick. All right. See ya. KM6HK, K6MYC. Anybody else in Course Gold?
How about Rio Under tonight, WB6ISO?
Okay, good evening, Dennis. 86. What? Do you have anybody else up there?
No, nobody else. But what a beautiful signal that you have up here this evening. You're 5.9++. Very, very nice. How you doing?
Well, it turns out we're looking right at you. I'm pointed right toward Sacramento. And Rio Linda is in the crosshairs. Over.
Okay, there was 756. Go ahead there.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. KJ6, KFB 756. Check in, and I'll kick it on. John's out there.
Okay, we'll take you early, Darren 756. I don't normally get up this far. I went up this way to be sure I could copy Dennis. Well, I was up here for a local station in Course Gold. And I looked at I just kept rotating until he started to come up out of the noise. And lo and behold, it's right towards Sacramento. Hi. Good to hear you, Darren. Thank you for checking in. And I haven't done the Bay Area yet, so I'm going to go back to the Bay Area. But if there's somebody there like Bill or anybody that wants a quick check-in, I'll take it while I'm pointed towards Sacramento. KJ6KFB 756, K6MYC. Go ahead, Darren.
KR6MR is hanging in there. You might want to swing a little bit more to his direction and pick him up. Haven't heard Bill out on frequency as of yet.
Okay, we'll do that. KR6MR, this should be closer to you, John. KR6MR, K6MYC. How copy?
Yeah, good evening, Mike. K6MYC, KR6MR, Bozo 759. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good. Would you do me a favor? Tell me what you're running for an antenna and the power?
A pair of your 6 wavelength 432s with 70 watts.
Okay, very good. I'm just trying to get a feel. We're going to send up a 25 watt radio and an antenna that's just slightly smaller than yours, but it'll be in the San Andreas, and I think that's quite a bit closer to us than you are in Meadow Vista there. Over. Anyway, good to hear you, John. Thank you very much for checking in. We'll take a listen for Bill if he's there. I didn't hear Bill on 40 meters. We did not hear Bill on 40 this morning, so he must be having a different sleeping pattern there. Let me take a quick standby. KO6HS, Bill, are you there?
If Bill doesn't check in, I have a quick question for you.
I don't hear Bill. Go ahead with your question, Dennis.
Yeah, how's Judy?
Judy's fine. She's sitting right here.
Hi, I'm doing right here.
I always want to say hello, Judy. I don't want to leave you out of this whole thing. I know you're sitting there and taking notes and everything else. It's sure be nice to hear your voice on the radio, and you sound mighty fine, over.
Yeah.
I'd be mighty fine, thank you.
You're entirely welcome. I'm sure glad that you're keeping an eyeball on that guy of mine down there. Keep up the good work. We're going to give you some kind of a gold star.
Yeah, there you go. She needs 2 gold stars. One for each good eye that she has. Thank you, Dennis. And she's doing fine. We had a very mellow day here. It was quite mellow. We didn't have a lot of things on the agenda. We did get a couple of little ornery things that we wanted to get done, cleaned up, rewiring the speakers to her computer, and fixing some flappy shoes that she had, and that was about it, aside from listening to a lot of political stuff on the web. Alrighty, thanks, Dennis, and I'm going to see if there's anybody else here before I go back and really pick up the Bay Area. I skipped right over to get to you guys tonight.
And we do appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Pick up JNP.
Oh, say it again.
Pick up Dane, WB6 JNP.
Oh, I didn't hear Dane. Where are you, Dane?
On the radio.
You're very, very light. What are you doing?
He would like to know what your QTH is here, Bill.
You're a little light this evening also, but anyway, we're back home, and everything went well. We did have a longer than expected session last night, so that sort of kept me off too. But things are progressing nicely. Anyway, this is NYC, WB6JM P107.
Okay, we just came up out of the noise at the end there. I missed all of that. You're very weak. Dan checked in, and he was 10, 15 dB stronger than you are, so maybe something's not right there. Over.
Okay, well, you came up too, so I've got to go over the whole system, so it's just one more project.
Oh, just one more project. Well, the reason I came up for you is because I moved the antenna where I could finally hear you. I couldn't read anything that you were saying before, so I'm sorry about that, but I kept thinking it was going to get better, and I was just organizing things here, but anyway. Good to hear you. Thanks for checking in. I wonder if you had a chance to look at any of that stuff that you dragged home from here. Over.
Yeah, matter of fact, it looks like the 7000 does in fact work, but it's intermittent, so I'm thinking it was the same problem I had with my R70, which was dirty contact. So I've got to go through and take everything apart and just re-clean everything and see what's going on. And as far as the 736, it's having here, like I said, with the whole thing with Peggy for the next 3 weeks, or next 2 weeks now. That sort of takes priority, but definitely it's in the spot.
I didn't get what the status was of the 736. You took a fade, and then I got hit with a Beale Air Force Base banger. Over.
Okay, well, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, so that's the next thing up on the project sheet.
Okay. Very good. Boy, the Beale is taking off now. It's really hammering me. I didn't hear it at first, but now it's in there. I pointed right up toward it, and maybe I woke it up and said, maybe it's saying, well, we're going to let you know that we're here up there, too. And they must be hearing me up there. Thanks, Dane. We'll go back into the Bay Area, but let me just take a listen and see if there's anybody else before I go back. K6MYC looking towards Sacramento. KE6ILX or anyone? We heard 2 people. We didn't get either one of you. Try it again.
Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar.
I got you, Paul. K6WIS. Who was the other one? It was 2 of you, but maybe one of them was just a repeat of something else we'd heard. K6WIS, and give your Bozo number, if you would, for Judy.
Roger. Thanks, Mike. K6MYC in the group. This is K6WIS, number 637, and we've got some good propagation on this heading right now, Mike. 5x5 is your signal report. Back to you, over.
And Carl.
Say it again. Breaker, go ahead.
N6 Radio, Oakley.
We haven't missed you. I went over you. I'll be back in just a second. Stand by, Kim. Okay. Okay. This should be better. I pointed more up toward you, Paul. And really good propagation, like you say. 432 sounds really good tonight, over.
Roger. It's a pretty good propagation. This is K6WIS near Placerville returning. And when I was pointed further to the east, I could copy Bill, AA6S, pretty well. It's 700 watts. Certainly makes it up here. I was getting him as good as 5x5 sometimes. So maybe one day he wants to contact a CM98 station like me. I'm always available. Back to you, Mike. Over.
Okay. Is there anybody on frequency? Mike, are you still here? Can you get a hold of Bill at AA6S, or did you guys work Ralph tonight? You may be still down working, Ralph. I'm guessing. What time is it, Judy? What time does the clock say?
8:07.
8:07. Oh, they should have worked him a long time ago. They should have checked in here. I was thinking sometimes he works Ralph TSK, and then he comes back on frequency, so I thought he might do that. But he's in here almost every night, Paul, so it's just a matter of time. Looks like it was good propagation tonight, but he's running about 800 watts to a Yagi, at least a big, long M-squared Yagi, I think, or at least one, maybe more. So he's got a big signal on 432, and so does Mike, WA6AAJ, but he wasn't pointed up your way. Anyway, great to hear you. Thanks, Paul, and I assume you have no other relays, right?
Yeah, Roger. No relays here, Mike. Over.
Okay, very good. Well, listen, have a wonderful weekend. It looks like the temperatures are going to be floating around in the real comfort zone, and we'll see you Sunday night, Paul. Thanks again. K6WIS, K6MYC, and standing by for N6 Radio Oscar.
Hi, Mike and Judy, N6RO, Bozo 835, high temperature 85, and dinner was a chicken Caesar salad. And it's the normal Thursday night crunch off to a Zoom meeting. See you on Sunday, N6RO.
Okay, very good. Well, we had some nice fish tonight. I didn't get the chance to finish my dinner. It got done just about 2 minutes before net time, so I ate the vegetables. What?
We had tortilla soup, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, Matt fixed up some tortilla soup to keep us going while the fish was cooking. And Judy thought it was really good. It was good. So that was nice, and we had broccoli. And I ate my broccoli, but I didn't get to the fish. So there you are. We'll get to the fish in a few minutes here. Probably tilapia, if I'm not mistaken, or something white. It was tilapia, yeah. Okay. So there you go. Have a good weekend, Ken. I don't think you're working too hard this weekend, are you? Or you got anything going?
Beacon.
Yeah, we got the worldwide ready RTTY contest going, multi with only 4 operators. So I'm going to be working harder than normal, even though I don't like overnighters 2 in a row. It takes a week to recover.
Yeah, I hear you, and your PG&E bill will be reflecting it with all that key down ready stuff there. Did you have a comment, Frank? Go ahead.
Yeah, just N6RO W6BBS. Good evening, Ken. Hey, I've got a beacon on 1296.275 now. It's not up at full height, and it's just with a little homebrew antenna, but it's up if you're interested in checking. Over.
Okay, the frequency again?
1296.275. All beacons will be on 275. Over.
Okay, I'll check it when I get free tonight. Thanks.
Good evening, Ken.
Hi. You're good and loud, Frank.
It should get better, too, as time goes on. It's just a dipole at the moment. I'm hearing it loud here. He's hearing it all the way down in Visalia, so you should have it also from your location. Your line of sight to Ken, to Frank there.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, booming signal. Good to hear you. Have a good, fun weekend. Don't work too hard. And crank up the solar panels. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm working on that also, among other things. Do a tractor and walk-in tub, and I'm going to spend my fortune.
Well, you can't take it with you.
That's right. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable.
I know. Well, we're in the same boat here. All right. I got the roof on the barn, by the way. The barn roof is all done. It looks beautiful. I had a couple of, not a couple, it's called the roof crew. They did it for me. and they bid at about $3,000 less than anybody else, and they still did a spectacular job, and we're done in a day and a half, and included a lot of woodwork. They had to replace one whole patio cover, the wood underneath the tar paper, and the roofing, rolled roofing, because it was flat. All that wood had gone bad on me, so we put some better. I think we put CDX in there anyway. We put the best quality stuff in there, and it shouldn't give us any more trouble with water on it. Anyway, that's down, and hopefully we won't have any more rain or dribbles coming in the shack. I think I told you all this last night. 7-3, Ken.
The skunk's dry.
Oh, yeah. We had skunks out here tonight before it even got dark, and I witnessed the first skunk fight I've ever seen last night also. There was 2 little skunks, and one of them was eating out of the dish, and all of a sudden one other one came out from underneath the barbecue about 4 feet away, and he crept on the other one. I think they're brothers. And he was nibbling on, because they had been out there earlier, and with the cats and everything, they'd kicked some of the dry food off. And so the dry food was kicking around on the ground, and this other one was eating the dry food and inching closer and closer to the plate that had quite a load on it. And so he finally got close enough, and they both got nose to nose on the plate, and that didn't last very long. Somebody grabbed a morsel that the other one wanted, and then they started to fight. I've never seen 2 skunks fight. They got up on their hind legs and pawed at each other and yelled at each other, put their faces on each other. Nobody sprayed, because you don't spray a partner, but they were giving each other what for. And one of them obviously was a little more dominant, and he chased the other one off for a few minutes. Didn't chase him off. They kind of ran off together, but only one of them came back. So he was told to stay away until the other one's done eating. I'd never witnessed that before, but it was quite noisy. They were screaming at each other, Ken, over.
I've never heard of a skunk scream. Well, skunks are fun down your way. Back to the barn, what kind of roof? Composite?
Well, just normal roof, like shingles on a house. They've tried to match the color of the shingles, and I put the highest grade shingles on there because what was it? Yeah, it was composite. Yes. At least on the roof itself of the barn, and on the patio roofs, it's just rolled roofing, the same color, same material, but just rolls of it, not shingles.
Yeah, I did a roof job about 20 years ago. My original was wood shingles, fire hazard, and we replaced it with composite shingles. Anyway, have more fun with your skunks, and we'll see you on Sunday night.
Yeah, they're probably right outside the door now. They were here. This was about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night when they were fighting. And I knew they were hungry. They're just really hungry. So I let them finish that plate. They scrapped every piece off of it, and then I walked out, and they kind of ran off for a second, and I put another plate out there, and the next thing I know, this morning, the big pile of stuff I put on it, and everything was gone. So I'm keeping them alive until the first rains, I guess. 7-3, Ken, thanks again. Always good to chat. On the roofing. Let's see. You said something about the roof that triggered me. Oh, for gosh sake.
They put vents in the attic of the barn.
Yeah, they did add some very nice little thin vents. They stick up about 1 inch. Nothing can go in there, but they do vent the upper chamber of the barn. The upper loft where they normally store hay gets real hot up there. So they put some vents on either side. So they actually did a really good job. I was really pleased. 13,400 later, I got a new roof. 7-3.
Well, you can't take it with you. See you later.
Yeah, see you later, Ken. Anybody else while I'm pointed this way? K6MYC Bozo Net. Okay, let me go into the Bay Area here. Okay, this is the Bay Area. Bozo Net, Bay Area, kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie. Also looking for Santa Cruz. If you can hear me, Tom, come on in. Bay Area, Bozo Net. Come on, guys, K6MYC.
WA6AXX at 773, and KB6WFC is in there also calling you, Mikey.
Oh, okay. Fine, Ed. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your 2 concerts that you were at. I know the local one, and then you went to the one up in the San Francisco area yesterday, I believe. Good to have you back. Good, strong signal here. Band's in very good shape. And we'll get Mike checked in. 775, Judy was 1, and then 773 is Ed here. Ed, back to you. And any comments on the concerts or whatever? I don't know who it is that you went to see up in San Francisco. Go ahead.
Yeah, we went to see Indigo Girls both nights. Yeah, so first night was Mountain Winery. It used to be called the Paul Masson Winery. Then some time ago they changed the name, changed ownership, I don't know, but now it's Mountain Winery. And then last night we went to the Masonic Auditorium in San Francisco. Not a great venue, and it was like so loud. It was like 108 dB peak audio, 108 dB, just totally unnecessarily loud. So the Mountain Winery experience was a much better experience, but it was still fun to see the group both nights, so we had a great time. And so again, listen for KB6WFC if you like. K6NYC, WA6AXX.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that was what I was trying to think of. I thank you for reminding me. That was the winery that was only about a quarter of a mile from where I lived in Saratoga. I think it was on Saratoga Avenue, the Paul Masson Winery, and we went over there. We spent many hours over there over the years. I think we lived there for about 13 years, and we always took guests over there and did wine tasting and stuff. We're not big wine people, but we did get over there at the time because it was so easy to do, and they were so nice to us. And I like to tell a story that I had a pipeline directly from them right into the third faucet on the sink. But, of course, that wasn't true, but it would have been nice. Yeah, Paul Masson had that winery for a long time, and probably his family just decided they wanted to get out of the business or something. I don't know how that worked, but glad to know it's still going, and they're still serving samples and having little get-togethers and programs there. Too bad about the loud concert. Yeah, sometimes they overdo it. That's just that's too bad. No matter where you sit, you can't get away from it. It's going to be, well, we already see it. A lot of people in their middle ages now that went to those rock concerts in the early days can't hear worth a damn. That wasn't my problem. I just spent too many years listening to EME signals in the noise that I had to crank up full bore so I could dig down and get that little tiny wisp of a signal there. So my ears were hereditarily bad and then made worse by EME hours of tens of thousands of listening to white noise. WA6AXX and the group K6MYC.
Okay, very good. Well, nothing else here. Going to be warm, I guess, in a few days, and otherwise still enjoying almost summer. So that's it. K6MYC, WA6AXX. I'll try and talk to you on Sunday.
Okay, stick around. I haven't heard Fred yet. Let's see if Fred is in here. KD6SOK. Fred, are you with us tonight? Okay, no Fred. KB6BA. How about you, Oliver?
K6MYC, KB6BA. Just had to troubleshoot a bad bird watt meter reading. How do you copy KB6BA 900 over?
Oh, not too bad. You're stronger than Paul, or not Paul, but strong as Ed is. Ed's kind of weak tonight for some reason. I don't know why that is. He might not be pointed right. But you might want to yell out your call again and give us your Bozo number so Judy can hear it. Over.
Okay, K6MYC, KB6PA, Kilo Bravo 6, Bravo Alpha, number 900-900. Went for a hike yesterday. Played with my microwave gear in the bench today and did some noise measurements. So, and heading to Vancouver for the convention next week. Here's KB6PA, over.
Okay. What frequency were you doing noise figure measurements at, and what are you getting typically these days?
Well, today I got about 5 dB difference between peaking on the sun itself and the cold sky, maybe 90 degrees away from the sun. And it's about that same value on both 10 gigahertz and 24 gigahertz. So that's an acceptable number, but not as good as the numbers I've gotten in the past. Over.
Yeah. Well, what was your noise figure though? Did you measure the noise figure, or you were just looking at sun noise difference to cold sky?
Today just sun noise, but yesterday or the day before I did use some noise figure measurements using my noise figure meter and the diode noise source, and getting about 2 dB system noise, which includes the that's about 2 dB system noise and 10 gig over.
Yeah, okay. That's 10 gigahertz, 3 dB. Is that a typical noise figure, or is that something that you could do better? It seems like you should be down around 0.5 to 0.7 dB noise figure at 10 gigs these days. Over.
The Tuning Electronics low noise amplifier is specified at 0.7 dB noise figure at 10 gigahertz. However, I can't measure 10 gigahertz on my noise figure meter directly, so I measure it at the output of the IF chain at 432 after it's gone through a mixer, gone through the transmitter and a relay switch. So that system noise figure includes the other components in the system. Over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That you can't get good measurements that way. Okay. Well, if that's what my guess was. That was just an educated guess of 0.7 dB. That would be a respectable noise figure. That used to be phenomenal. Now it's just respectable. I'm running a 0.3 dB noise figure at 1296. And that used to be really good. Now it's respectable. So stuff's really getting good. There's a huge amount of improvement. If you could make that 0.7 work for you in terms of signal to noise ratio, and your measurements may not be accurate. I think if you can hear the noise when you turn the preamp on, your noise figure, your noise gain in the preamp is overcoming most of the system noise. So you're probably getting somewhere very close to 0.7 of a dB noise figure if you can hear the noise 5 or 10 dB stronger when you turn the preamp on. You're probably getting the essential 0.7. So you're hearing about all you're going to hear with that. It sounds like. Sounds good, Oliver. Thanks for the chat. Have fun up in Vancouver or in Canada, wherever that is. KB6BA, I should say, K6MYC.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, talking with a lot of experienced microwavers. And always fun to do tweaking in my system and learn new stuff. Okay, so that's about all I have. Good to be back in 432 after a while. KB6BA.
Okay, well, have a good one. Enjoy the trip. And when do you expect to be back?
Flying back a week from Sunday.
Okay, so we can expect not to hear you, or to hear you not to hear you for about a week or so. Okay, very good. Have fun. Enjoy. Hopefully you'll pick up some good tips up there. And KB6BA 73 K6MYC, looking for a WB6 JNN. How about it, Jim? WB6 JNN or W6 PQL?
I just had to get my hand on the microphone here. I see that I did it in time. K6MYC W6 PQL.
And okay, 1296. We got you. Good signal. I may be a little too far north for you, but sounds good. Band's in really good condition, or it was earlier. We had booming signals. I accidentally got up to Sacramento because somebody called me from up that way locally, and I had to turn to hear him. He was very weak locally. And next thing I know, I'm pointed towards Sacramento and taking a bunch of check-ins from up that way. So I had skipped over you guys in the Bay Area, so that's why I'm a little bit late getting here. Anyway, Gary, thanks for sticking around. Have you heard anybody else in there? I didn't hear Jim, JNN, and I have not heard KD6SOK, both pretty regulars here. You might give a call out and see what you get there, Jim. W6PQL, I should say. K6MYC.
Beacon.
Hey, Michael, your signal's good enough over here to raise them, but Fred, KD6SOK, are you there? And Jim, WB6JNN, are you there?
Beacon.
BK, go ahead.
Said Beacon. Tell Jim about the beacon.
Okay, just a minute.
Go in there.
Okay. Sorry, Jim, you were talking to somebody and Frank broke in and he wants me to give you a message about the beacon on 1296. So maybe you can have a listen for it before we get done here tonight and give a report back to Frank. Somebody else was talking to you, Jim. Go ahead.
I think WNI is what I heard.
Yep, you are correct. WNI, Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey November 1090. I'm going to turn back to you, Mike, because at my end, you're a little bit weaker than usual.
Yeah, well, that's because I was a little bit more north than usual. This should be a little better. WB6WNI, good evening, Gary. 1090, K6MYC, good signal. But you're always down a bit. You were booming last night on 2 meters, but tonight it's just the normal signal with Q5. WB6WNI, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, K6MYC, WB6WNI. Last night was exceptionally good. As I told the locals like Mike at QFO, and that's why you get on all the time, just for those days. And last night was one of those days. Not much else to report. I just have a question. How many visitors do you have? Give me the count of skunks, raccoons, and cats, which I am still amazed that you have. They're all looking for their ham license, I'm sure. Anyway, Mike, not much more here. Just curious if you're joined by any critters tonight, but I'll just say 73 and let you move along there. K6MYC and the group, WB6WNI.
Okay, WB6WNI. Well, visitors that don't have names, I call them Stinky. Stinky 1 and Stinky 2. They're the kids that came from Bad Boy. Bad Boy was the first one to grow up around here, and he's like a family member here. But I haven't seen Bad Boy lately. I think he's abandoned his tribe, and he's off starting another family somewhere else because Bad Boy hasn't been around. But his kids are here, and so we had 2 or 3 of his kids here last night, but that was it. I didn't see any raccoon. I think there was some raccoon.
There was a raccoon last night.
Oh, there was a raccoon on the patio, too, but we didn't get to the barn, so the barn is where we really get the congregation. Gary, over.
Oh, very good. Yes, my only experience that we were talking was possums eating the cat food. And yes, and I did guess the possums and cats get along just fine. So, yeah, that's been my experience mainly with possums. Anyway, have a great evening there. Nice Judy and Ned here. I'll let you move along, but yes, you're coming in very well. K6MYC, WB6WNI.
Okay, Gary, Judy says hi, and thanks very much for your good thoughts and comments, Gary. WB6WNI, K6MYC, WB6JNN. How about it, Jim? Nothing from Jim. Is there anybody else in the Bay Area? KD6SOK, KT2G, or anyone else for that matter? Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie and the Bozo Group.
KD6MYC, KD6SOK. Good evening, Mike.
Yeah, there you are. I knew you'd be around sooner or later, Fred. Give Judy your number.
Okay. Good evening, Judy. The number is 507-507. Good to hear you on tonight. Of course, there's no interference on this band. So it's nice and quiet. You go frequency. Anyway, Mike, it was a nice, beautiful day. Nice, kind of cool, but it's supposed to warm up this weekend. Anyway, hope you're doing well. I just thought I'd say hello. KD6, that's okay?
Yeah, well, we called you earlier, and of course, as I was telling Jim, we started out the net beaming south for a new station that came up in Bakersfield. And then we went around, and I started to go to the Bay Area, and one of the fellows in Course Gold called me, but he was very weak, so I had to keep going north, and I ended up towards Sacramento. Next thing I know, I had about 5 or 6 Sacramento stations checking in. So I'm late getting toward you there, but good to hear you now.
For a second. Am I not? Oh, there we go. My amplifier didn't kick on, and now it's kicked on. That's weird. Okay. No, I just turned this on a few minutes ago. I didn't know if you'd still be here or not. I was talking to somebody, and I got distracted, and I wasn't around earlier.
Well, we did call, but you didn't miss it by much, and then we stayed in the Bay Area. We started calling about 10 minutes ago in the Bay Area. Anyway, no worries, Fred. I figured you'd be there, but we made a shift on where we started here, so that's why we're so late tonight. Thanks for sticking around. 7-3, have a good weekend. It was cool here today, just in the very, very low 80s, I think, and very pleasant outside all day. I didn't do any work outside, though. It was one of those strange days. We had inside stuff that we got involved in and never got outside to do anything except sit by the pool for a few minutes. 7-3, Fred. Enjoy it, your weekend, and we'll see you Sunday night, perhaps. Well, not on 2 meters. We'll see you Monday. How's that? KD6SOK, K6MYC. Okay, anybody else in the Bay Area? WB6JNN, Jim? Okay, KW6S. Well, I think he's out to dinner. That's why Tom is missing here. KW6S is out to dinner, but let me come down and see if we can get. How about Alpha Foxtrot 6 United, AF6U, Alpha Foxtrot 6 United, and I screwed up. I didn't tell Jim about the beacon. Hang on a second. AF6U, are you here, Lee? He may have given up on us. Let me go back and see if I can get Jim. W6PQL, I should say. W6PQL? W6PQL. W6 Papa Queen London, K6MYC. Are you still here, Jim?
Yeah, I'm here, Mike.
Okay. Frank has got the beacon on 1296 running, 1296.275, as all the beacons are all on 275, so you should be able to hear 2 meters, 432, and now 1296. A dipole, but it's been heard in Visalia. It's very loud here. It's just a temporary antenna. The correct antenna had a bad feed, so we just put up a little temporary dipole. But you might be able to hear it there with the 10. Well, it's about running about 15 to 18 watts out of my 230 SB230 transverter for 1296. Jim, over.
Okay, I did check when you told me that a few minutes ago, and I don't see a trace of it here. I'm not surprised. The dipole isn't going to get enough power with the terrible path that we have from here to Course Cove where Frank is. I can hear Frank if he's running power, but if he's just barefoot with 100 watts or so, he's very tough over here. But if he's running more power than that, I can hear him. I doubt I'll hear his 15 watts on 1296, so I did take a look. It's just not there tonight.
Okay, Frank, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here, and I heard what Jim had to say, and I just realized, I threw it up there, and it was just an experiment, and it was getting late. Jim's almost off the end of the dipole anyway, so I'm not surprised you can't hear it, over.
Okay, yeah, and you're also off the end of the dipole, and it's not at full height. It's only about 20 feet up. It'll eventually be up about 40, and it'll be a real antenna up there. This is just a little wire dipole he hammered together to get going for today, Jim, over.
Okay, well, if we got an antenna with some gain on it, I'm probably going to hear it, but the beacon I used to have over here was running about 30 watts. It was pointed down towards Southern California, which should have produced some scatter. I don't think you ever heard over in your area. It hasn't been on for some time now, but it's pretty tough path, so we probably won't be heard in the Bay Area unless you're in the West Bay.
Did you get that, Frank?
All but the last of it, but yeah, I got the gist of it, where he was pointing, whatnot. But yeah, I figure it's going to be rough for Jim. Just letting him know it's there if he wants to listen occasionally as I make improvements.
Well, if you put it into the long Yagi and you pointed at him, he'd certainly hear you.
Yeah, well, also, Jim, has got something to do with it being on the Bozo website, and so it could be put on the Bozo webpage that the 1296 beacon is now online, improvements to be made.
And it seems to be very stable, Frank, by the way. The SB230 was always good and stable, but once it's running a while, it's very stable. Seems to be right on the right frequency. So if you would put it on the Bozo website, we'd appreciate it. The Bozo, the 3 beacons are up, all on 275, and about 15 watts on 1296 and 20 or so on 2 and 432, and all on the same frequency in terms of the .275 number, Jim. W6PQL for your final K6MYC.
Okay, yeah, I'll take care of that in the morning. We'll put it on there. 73 W6PQL.
Okay, 73. Anybody else in the Bay Area before we wrap this thing up? K6MYC.
KB6P comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just listened on 1296.275. Didn't hear a trace in my display with the preamp turned on, so I just wanted to pass along that data point over.
Okay, very good. Nothing heard at KB6BA's place either. Well, it'll be a lot stronger as time goes on. Right now it's only half height, and we can raise the power. We can get as much as 30 watts out, but I don't think we'll ever run much more than 20 or 25. Keep the thing running for forever. It's a German transverter. It's the SB230. It belongs to me, but I've loaned it out for that application for as long as it's needed, and it'll become available once it is done with the transverter duty and we get the other transverter up there that we're waiting for. So there you go. Thank you, Oliver, for taking the check and the feedback there. KB6BA, K6MYC.
Okay, looking forward to further development of that. It's been a long time since we had a beacon available. I think there used to be one in Sausalito, but that's been years.
Yeah, you should be able to hear the 2 meters, the 432, at least those two. They're easier for you, I think. And Frank's pretty high. Frank, are you hearing Oliver over there?
No, I wasn't. Is he still in the Bay Area?
Yeah, he's in, what town are you in, Oliver?
Sunnyvale, South San Francisco Bay Area, near the south end of the Bay over.
He's in Sunnyvale, Frank, and you should hear him. He has a good signal to me.
Yeah, give me some more chatter. I'm trying to tune you in.
Give him a little chatter, Oliver.
Okay, I hear Frank in there. I need to call. Here's KB6BA. Kilo Bravo 6 Bravo Alpha, 1234. 4321, Kilo Bravo 6 Bravo Alpha, and I'll try to peak the beam on Frank there, over.
Yeah, okay, Mike, I heard him talking, but I just cannot pull anything out. You know, from PQL down, I had to turn south to PQL a little bit, but just in that particular direction, man, I'm just blocked to a lot of guys in that particular area right there for some reason, over.
Yeah, well, just keep talking for another 15 seconds. Oliver's going to see if he can find the peak on you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll keep talking then. I'll just jabber on here. So, yeah, you know, I'm going to take a picture of this little dipole I made, and I'm going to text that over to Paul and tell him I couldn't find any beacon antennas, and all the equipment was sitting there, and I felt bad, so I figured I had to do something. So this is the new beacon antenna, and see if that doesn't light a fire under him, over.
Okay, thanks for the chatter, Frank. I can hear you in there, but your voice is too weak for me to pull out the words. Too weak for me to pull out the words, but it was a good test. Here's KB6PA, over.
Yeah, well, he's running 70 watts from the 9700. And what's the antenna, Frank? I can't remember. Is that the 11 element?
No, that's that. I think it's a 16 element, the square boom job we took off your roof of the barn.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's about a 10-foot boom, Yagi. It was originally designed by us, by me, to work for AEA Electronics up there in Seattle. They had us make it for them specifically under their brand name. But it's a good little antenna, but it's only about 8 or 9 feet long, something like that. So he's not running smoke, and he's not running a big antenna, but it's adequate. I'm sure you guys could work each other, certainly good enough for a contest and stuff like that, and probably wait for a peak. And I think it's going to be higher right now. Are the beacon antennas, or the antenna you're transmitting on now, is it at full height, Frank?
Yes, it is, Mike. It is at full height, 2 meters, 1296 and 432 for the Bozo Net is at full height. All the beacons are down by the radio room here at the house pad at this point.
Okay, so the beacon antennas are still down at 20 feet or so, Oliver, but the antennas he's using for the Bozo Net communications are up high. He moved them just recently, and he picked up about 60 feet, and they're all fed with real low-loss coax and so on, so we're doing about the best we can with his system there. He's got power on 2 meters, a kilowatt, and he will have power on 432. He just has to get it all hooked up. He has an 8938, which is like a 8877 coaxial based 8877, and he got that from me, and so he'll be running smoke one of these days on 432. You will hear him, I guarantee. 7-3, Oliver.
Okay, Frank's signal came up a little bit. I was able to pull in some words. This is Kilo Bravo 6 Bravo Alpha. Maybe Frank, and I'm at Charlie Mike 97 Alpha Juliet. Maybe Frank can give us a call several times. Let's see if I can pull him in over.
Okay, once you call several times, he's getting pieces of you enough for a contact, and he gave you his grid square there, Frank. Did you get it?
No, Mike, I did not. So I'll give my calling grid a few times, and then I'll listen hard, but he's really hard to hear. I can tell he's talking, but that's about it. This is Whiskey 6 Bravo Bravo Sierra, Delta Mike 07, DMO 7, Delta Mike 07, DMO 7, over.
Okay, I think you said your grid was Delta Mike 07, Kilo Hotel, not sure. And send the call several times, over.
Their call several times. He's got the grid.
Whiskey 6 Bravo Bravo Sierra, Whiskey 6 Baker Sugar, Whiskey 6 Bravo Bravo Sierra, Whiskey 6 Bravo Bravo Sierra, Whiskey 6 Baker Sugar, over.
Okay, Whiskey 6 Bravo Bravo Sierra, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra, is that correct, over?
Roger.
Okay, well, we finished the contact. I appreciate that. Another one heard of it.
Okay, repeat your grid squares for him several times. Let's see if Frank can get your grid. Go ahead, Oliver.
Okay, it's Charlie Mike 97 Alpha Juliet. 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 Charlie Mike 97 Alpha Juliet, over.
I believe that was Charlie Mike 97 and the Fox Juliet or whatever he's adding on the end. We don't need to use that, or that was confusing me a little bit, but I got it, Mike.
Okay, yeah, he came up real strong at the end, Oliver. You had a big peak at the end for me. I mean, you doubled your power. You came up 10 dB. So there is QSB on the band. You guys can make it in the contest, so that's a good sign. It'll only get better. 7-3, Oliver. Thanks for the test and enjoyed it there. K6MYC. Go ahead, Oliver.
Okay, 7-3. It's good to talk to you guys. Take care. KB6.
7-3. Well, we're still in the Bay Area. WB6JNN or anybody else in the Bay Area for the Bozo Net. K6MYC.
Comment.
Yeah, this is Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar still here.
Yeah, backscatter, Paul. Go ahead, and then we got a comment from Frank. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, hi again, Mike, K6WIS here. I just wanted to say I'm getting a good signal from you on the bounce pads at 5x5, and I could also occasionally hear Frank in there, W6BBX, as about a 4x1, but then he faded down into a noise. So that's two bounce signals from the Fresno area there. Back to you, Mike, over.
Yeah, Roger, very good. Did you get any of that, Frank?
Yeah, I caught some of it. I was he was hearing me at a 4x1, And yeah, I'm hearing you. You're not moving the S meter at all. I've only got about 50% copy on you, Paul, but when you come in, it's about a Q3 to Q4 copy. Over.
Yeah, this is the backscatter path. You should be beamed at about 285 to 289.
Yeah, Roger. I'm pointing where I can hear him.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Roger, that was 100% copy, Frank. W6BBS from K6WIS. Yes, I copied every word you said there. Slightly difficult, so that's why I gave you a Q4. And it's about a S1, that's with the preamp on the mast. It's just tickling the S meter here. So, hey, that's not bad. Pretty good conditions. I'm running about... I'll be peaking about 200 watts here into a circularly polarized antenna from M squared, a 15 element by 15 element circularly polarized. So back to you there, Frank. I hope you could copy all of that. W6BBS from K6WIS. Over.
K6WIS, W6BBS, 100% copy that time. You never moved the S meter, so S0, but you were Q5 all the way, although an uncomfortable one. It was a little rough at times, but I got it all. And so I'll give you a 1x5 report at 1x5. Over.
Okay, Roger. Thanks very much for the 1x5 or 5x1. Probably it's more closer to 4-to-1 if you're having slight difficulty. I usually say Q4 if I'm having slight difficulty. Over.
Yeah, Roger. And I'm just tired and I got it backwards. But anyways, good contact. And yeah, you've come up a little bit now and the bounce path is working good for us. Over.
Roger. Thanks for the contact, Frank. 73 is back to you there, Mike.
Okay. Well, quite an interesting evening here. I'm anxious to get out of here because I haven't finished dinner, but it's good stuff going on here. It's fun. This is what the net's all about here. So that's good. Anybody else before we go to Nevada? I'm going to go to Nevada next, K6MYC. Okay, nothing heard. I'm getting the bums rush here from Nevada. They wondering, where the hell are you? You got to be in here somewhere. How about KO6KD? Bill, are you here? KO6KD, KO6KD, or anybody Sacramento? K6MYC. Okay, nothing heard. Sacramento going to Nevada. And I don't know what we're going to get out of Nevada at this late hour.
272, KE7UQL.
For heaven's sake, KE7UQL 272. Good evening, Daniel, and quite surprised to hear you. Thank you for waiting around. I'm sorry we're so late here. We had lots of activity with very nice band conditions. Over.
Roger, no trouble. Got plenty of time to do some sleeping on the floor tonight. Over.
Yeah, very good. Who else? You think Richard's still in here?
Well, I can give us some CW. You can give me a try. I'll take a standby, KD7UQL.
Okay, let's see. Richard, KD6BQ. KD6BQ. Richard, I wonder if you're here. Give us some CW. K6MYC. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie for KD6BQ. Over, Richard. Roger. Solid copy on the 249. Pretty damn good for 8 watts on a fence-loaded, fence-mounted antenna there, Richard. Good signal on the CW there. Thank you. Won't keep it. Sorry we're late. I'll get a try for Larry and see if he's in here tonight, and then we're going to get out of here. I'm running really late. 73, Richard. 73. Thanks for sticking around, my friend. Over. Okay, 73 to you as well. Did.
I like that. Roger, 73. Hey,
you got it too, didn't you?
I heard him all the way through. Q5 copy.
Yeah, that's a fence-mounted antenna in Wassaw Valley, Nevada, and 8 watts. Over.
I know, it's just amazing. That was, he was what it is. I also heard Daniel, not as well, but Richard was just blasting in. Go ahead, carry on.
Okay, let's see if Larry's there. N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango. N7WT, K6MYC. Larry, are you here tonight? I didn't think so. Larry's been in and out quite a bit lately. All right, Daniel, 73 to you. Richard, 73s. Frank, if you want to try either one of them, go to it. K6MYC to W6BBS.
No. That's quite all right. Mike, I put a thought in your head for you to think about, and we can discuss later. I just don't want to go through everything it takes to do mass-mounted preamps or anything, 300 feet away for all this stuff. But I was considering a preamp on the bench, between the rig and the amp, and because that's fairly simple and a whole lot less headache to do. And I was just thinking, I was wondering if that might help me a bit on these 3 bands. Over.
Yeah, it would certainly help 432. I don't know, about 2 meters. It would help 1296 also, so something to think about. It would really help 1296 because every bit of feed line loss in 1296 is just sensitivity down the drain. All right, we can talk about it, but yeah, and it may be also there's break points near the base of the tower. The preamps could go there. 1296 is the most important one. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, and it's doable. It's, just not monetarily feasible at this time, because to do it right, I need one of those expensive relays. And, of course, I got to run a line up there, but that I can accomplish. I've got, 4 runs of 1 5/8 going up the hill. I guess I could run a control wire. So that part's doable. It's just, I was trying to get away with stuff I might have or be able to scrounge without spending any money. Over.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we'll work on the 1296 preamp as time goes on. I may have 1 or 2 here. They just need relays around them. Over.
Yeah, roger that. And, I don't believe the, oh, geez, what is the, I can't remember the M-squared number, but the M-squared HPR relay, it doesn't handle 1296, does it?
No, you don't need that. That doesn't have any isolation. You need good isolation relays. I've got boxes of relays here that are not going to get used in my system anywhere, so we'll find something that will work. I think one of the high isolation relays would probably be the first thing to put in there, as we are using on 432, something like that, and then we'll the next one isn't as important.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, we could discuss all that, because, ultimately, to do it right, all the hard lines end at the base of the launcher, and so I put a box up there and kind of do like what we did for your tower down there. It's the right way to do it down the road, but at this time. Anyways, catch you later. You guys go eat. Good night, Judy. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for helping out. W6BBS losing his voice.
You're welcome, and you do sound better, mister. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I think we double it. My last couple was there. I go losing my voice now.
No, she just said you sound better, and I unkeyed the mic for a second, and I didn't know she wanted to have another comment there. She's got to put her finger upward when she wants me to hold the mic closed. That's what we're going to have to come up with a key here, because I'm squeezing the mic and stretching it over to where she's sitting there. That's why it's awkward. All righty. Good night, Frank. I haven't heard Rob in here. Rob, are you here?
He's at an Aries meeting.
Oh, he's in an Aries meeting. Okay, well, maybe we should put him in posthumously. Let's put Rob in here. He would be here if he could, 432. And that'll finish out the thing. And you can tell me how many you got there.
Yeah, I wasn't keeping track. Rob's going to listen to the stream later. I think that's what his plan was. He texted me to relay that he was at the Aries meeting, and of course I completely forgot to do that at the beginning of the net. But when you went to go ask for him, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he's not here.
Yeah, okay.
I got 35.
35.
25.
25, yeah. 25, really good night on 432.
Yeah, I was about to say 35 on this band would be amazing. We have a lot of guys that check in on 2 meters that only have 2-meter sideband rigs.
No, we could get 35 easily. I could add 10 right now just by the people that did not check in here. 2 or 3 right here in the San Joaquin Valley area. We didn't get Dane in here tonight. Was Dane in? Yeah, 107 was in. I think Dave wasn't in, no, 971. He could have gotten in here. That's one. And then we could have had N6BYH. We could have gotten some others.
Yeah.
We're going to quit. Judy wants to go finish her dinners here. Good night, all. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Frank. W6BBS, K6 USY, K6 MYC, clear and closing. 7-3, Richard. Did.
All righty. Good night, Mike. Good night, Judy. Good night, Frank. And good night to all the wonderful people on YouTube. We're going to cut you loose. K6USY DMO6.
How many extras did you have tonight on the YouTube chat room?
Not too many people in the chat room tonight, but we've had 29 people come by the stream tonight.
Oh, that's good. Okay, very good.
Yeah, there's only 8 people right now, and of course one of those is me. But 29 unique people over the course of the evening. So.
Question. Hey, Aaron.
Yes.
So that, and I meant to ask you that, and I'd forgotten about it. So when I'm looking at that screen, when I'm doing your little job there for you, that 29, you have the number of people that are there right now, and then that other number, that is unique. That isn't one person checking in 29 times. It's unique check-ins, over?
Yeah, I believe it's unique devices. So if somebody watched on their phone and then switched to a laptop and then switched to their TV, they'd show up as 3 separate viewers. So that's unique devices, which most of the time is going to be a unique person.
Okay, very good. I was curious about that because, when you're sitting here doing the net, and I've got to stay here and pay attention because, I'm trying to be you for the night, and so I look at stuff. I'm careful not to touch any buttons or anything. I don't want to blow stuff up, but I look at stuff, and I had spotted that, and I was wondering, that question was in my head. Is this unique? So that sounds good. So we're getting some traffic. Good night, sir. Thanks for doing what you do. K6USY W6BBS with a headache and losing his voice.
Very good, Frank. And be prepared to be me again, because I'm going to be camping up in Yosemite from the 6th to the 10th in October. So that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. If you're going camping in Yosemite and I have to cover you, there's got to be a price.
Yeah, my parents had a campsite, and they offered, and I was like, oh, shoot, I want to go. So I'm going up by myself. I'm going to go babysit my parents, and of course they're going to go off and do different things during the day, and I'm going to go play radio.
All right, you have a good evening. I got to get out of here. I'm losing my voice, and I got to go. Good night, Aaron. W6BBS.
Yeah, go get a hot drink. We'll catch you later, Frank. K6USY DMO6.